What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Magic Dads podcast. I'm sick, joined today by 100 Card Hero and Pinty Het.
Hey.
The baby has gone to
Ooh,
one week of daycare and already brought home a bug. It's not that bad though, just a little.
Typical baby stuff.
Yeah, getting stronger, building up the immune system.
RSV, respiratory.
How are you dudes? How's it going?
Can't complain too much. Busy with kids, but it'd be that way. I'm a dad. I have tiny babies that are running around my house constantly.
Yes.
And I am anxious about the tournament coming up.
You're anxious about the tournament coming up?
Yeah, I'd like to win it.
Already?
Hell
You're anxious already?
Hell yeah.
I'm anxious all the time, dude.
You're like the Hulk. That's your secret. You're always anxious.
Yeah.
How are you, Jay?
I'm great. I also have kids, but they're teenagers. Whole different set of challenges.
So, gotta tell you something, YouTube. This is the last podcast that Jay is going to be with us for a while.
Yeah.
So Jay has one of those jobs where he works 12 to 14 hours a day, 7 days a week for 10 weeks. And the rest of the year, he just kind of coasts. So we're coming up on those 10 weeks, 12 weeks, whatever it is.
You're busy a couple weeks in October.
Yeah. I'm ready to get after it. It's the hurry up and wait right now, you know?
Right.
It's really boring, but I have to be in the office anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm ready.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
But then you'll be back.
Well,
I'll be back.
welcome to the Magic Dads podcast. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that notification button so that we get to annoy you every time we upload a video. We also have a Patreon campaign down in the description of this video. You can find a link to that. And we have some really exciting stuff to talk about specifically for the Patreon today. Later, a little later on in the podcast, but go help us out there. So before we get into that though, let's recap the Maple Cup a little bit. So the 3 weeks of pod play are done.
Yeah.
Are done.
True.
Actually, by the time this comes out, the finals tournament will have happened already.
Yeah. My anxiety will be lifted.
We're time traveling again,
shifted,
as we do sometimes on the Magic Dads podcast. So we will have a bonus episode this week also, hopefully, recapping that top 8 tournament, what went down. So there's that. But did we recap week 2 already at all? I don't remember if we do.
No, I don't think so.
I think we got some pretty vicious weather in the middle. And
that was
when okay, so I won my pod in week 2 playing Mardu Initiative. Stefan won his pod in week 2 playing
after scrubbing week 1. I'm on a classic deck. I'm gonna go into it a little bit more in the Patreon. But I'm back on classic Pattern Rector, which is sort of a deck that I started playing the format in like years ago.
And it did well in one of the Canadian Highlander proper Discord tournaments recently. And the archetype is getting some attention. I think a lot of this is probably driven by the most recent points change. You just you got 3 points or whatever, right?
4. Yeah, the
there
deck is now
free Soul Ring for you.
Yeah, basically that is exactly what has happened. It's like you get extra 4 points. Congratulations.
That's insane.
The deck could be on 0 points and still function now.
Yeah, and then the third winner was Ryan Favor, right? Was it Ryan?
Yes.
No, it was
probably.
Luke. No, it was Luke.
Ryan won week
Luke,
3.
3-0-6-0 in week 2. 100% win percentage with Seeker Walk. Also got a little bit of a juice with the most recent points change. Spellseeker down to 2. Now lets him play a Survival of the Fittest.
Yeah, it was sort of between that and what was the other? It was that
I think
and
Mystical Tutor is also a consideration.
It was Mystical was the other one, but Survival's clean.
Yeah. So and then in week 3, pod winners were Ryan Favor playing mono red aggro, medium red. He calls it medium red. It's it's just your classic mono red burn deck. He has an interesting point spread though, deciding to not opt into the hype that is Mox Lotus now, since you can play Price of Progress for free. He has a spread of Mana Crypt, Mox Ruby, and
GT
Strip Mine.
Oh, it does have Strip Mine. Yeah.
Mana Crypt,
I was saying this right when they switched. Like, I think Strip Mine is more dangerous
Mana Crypt, Mox Ruby, and Strip Mine. So he's only playing 8 points now.
Yeah, he likes strip mine. I'm not.
Or is that 9 points? Strip mine's 2, right?
Yeah, strip mine's 2 now.
Yeah.
I'm still like it's. I don't know that deck wants strip mine. Strip mine is sort of like if you have extra points that you're not doing anything with, or you're doing messed up stuff with.
Man, I think strip mine just as a
Strip Mine
second
is
copy of
great in that
Wasteland
deck.
is great. Yeah,
I think strip mine's great in that deck.
I think it makes it a lot more dangerous, but
I think at 2 points you're making a better decision. You're making more of a decision about it. At 3, you're like you have to have a.
You have to commit to it. Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, I would agree with that entirely.
At 2, you sort of, you can kind of start playing with it.
Also, let's see who else won. Jay, you won your pod, right?
I did.
With we were talking about this when we were recording for the Patreon.
Playing the teamer or rug or whatever thing you call it nowadays. Lara Croft sort of theme deck. Had a lot of pirates, a lot of dinosaurs. Pretty fun. Some knights.
Yeah, it was a very, very, very interesting deck. I was, saying before that I've never really seen anything like it. The closest approximation is like Welder, and that's not even close to actually what it is. So, you had said, and I think this is an excellent way of coining this, is that there was just a whole bunch of new cards that you wanted to play.
Yeah. If you get them together and some of them work together, you could try some stuff out. Yeah. And the stuff that doesn't work,
can we go down the list? You already listed Lara Croft.
The Tomb Raider.
Lara Croft, you have Malcolm, Breaches, Broadside Bombardiers.
Yeah. So
the Indominus Rex.
Indominus Rex Alpha.
Oh, right.
NT Cynical of the Sun.
Yeah, I played Kogla and Yadaro. That's not super new, but out of Doctor Who, Wreck and Rebuild.
Wreck and Rebuild. Okay, can we pause for a second and talk about Wreck and Rebuild? So
yeah,
this is you're going, what is that? I've never heard of that split card before. It's not a split card. It's an instant from the Doctor
sorcery. It is sorcery.
It's a sorcery from the Doctor Who sets. 3 mana, 1 a green and a red, mill 5, and then you can put a land from your. Is it from your graveyard or from your hand?
From your graveyard into play
tapped.
From
your graveyard into play tapped.
Any land.
Any land, yeah. And then the other mode is destroy target artifact or enchantment.
Yeah. Disenchant. And
then it has flashback.
And then it has flashback as well. So you're playing this in a deck that has both intuition and Uro in it, right?
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And it
very cool stuff, man. This deck was super interesting.
Artifact mutation is somewhat new. I don't know. So a lot of new cards in there. Sir Ginger. I played a Ruby in there. Daring Tracker.
Mox Ruby. I love that card.
2 mana, 3 power haste creature from WoW.
It's a mana dork basically. It's a legendary mana dork that has haste.
Yeah. And
she has haste though, right?
Yeah. And she gets a bump if you have a creature with power 4 or greater, I believe.
Yeah, if you attack
that card's very, very good.
It's good. Yeah,
it's good, and I think people are sleeping on the color combination a little bit right now too.
Yes.
Yeah. I think people moved away from Orcish Lumberjack when they shouldn't have.
Not this guy.
Because it's essentially a Black Lotus. Like if you want to play turn 2 Minskamboo, like you can do it with an Orcish Lumberjack.
For sure.
I don't know. People should never move away from
with all the newer cards. I believe you're playing Ketria, Jay. It's not.
I can't keep track, so I always call it Rug. People who don't like to call it Rug, I don't know. Call it Teamer if you want to, but not around me.
It does pull the whole room together, I will say.
Big fan of Gur, actually. If we're just gonna make it up, we want. Big fan of Gur.
Yeah. We could just call it Gru.
I do love the Minions movie.
Yeah.
Okay, so who was the third person that won their pod in week 3? We had Ryan, we had Jay, and then the third pod winner was Ryan. Ryan.
It was Ryan. Yeah, because it was. I ended up in the same pod with you and.
Third pod. Who's the third pod? It was Jake.
Jake.
Jake. Yeah. I should have known that because he played Spencer, probably.
That's right.
It was Jake playing the Jund's Depths or Jund Lands deck.
Yeah.
Which is another deck that got a huge boost from the most recent points update. I think if you count that crop rotation was a point last year, that deck was 15 points last year. So we got 5.
It was.
Not 4. 5.
Also, Birthing Pod is now 0 points, and so Luke gets to play Birthing Pod, and Jake gets to play Birthing Pod.
That's right. So Luke got 2 points at that last.
He did technically get 2 points.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Jake loves himself some Birthing Pod too.
Yeah,
All the the decks he's played most recently are just Birthing Pod decks. So Naya and John.
As long as you have like good roll-ins, like you can roll from mana value to mana value pretty cleanly, the card is sort of almost a no-brainer. I thought of cutting it at one point from my deck, and I'm just like, oh no, that's too much value.
Yeah, it's one of those things that it's like kill on sight.
Yeah.
Like, even if your opponent is behind or like they don't have a creature to sack to it or whatever, they're gonna find one eventually. You can't just let it sit there.
Yeah, you can get a grist with it.
Yeah.
Just get grist.
So pod play is done now.
Yeah.
We are cutting to a top 8, which, like I said, but by the time this comes out, it will have already been played and everybody will know who the winners were. But that is Sunday, and let's see, the 3 of us made it all into the top 8. We got Luke, Ryan, Jake, Eric, and Mitch.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yep.
So. Seven said he's nervous. I'm really, really looking forward to it. I love this.
Yeah.
I love the way that this league has just been like just participating in it was a pleasure.
I think I kind of want to win. I want to do well with a deck that I love.
Nothing wrong with that, bro.
Yeah,
you got this.
That's sort of where I'm sitting. It's like I love the deck. I want to do right by the deck. It's not even for me.
Yeah, a little bit of affirmation about the things you believe about the format being correct is never a bad thing,
I think that's what it is ultimately. Also, mulligan more. Just everybody out there, listen, mulligan more. It's fine.
That's your dad advice for the day.
Don't keep crap hands, man. I know it sucks going to 5. It can be scary, but it's better than keeping an unplayable 6 that has its first play on turn 3. Don't keep a terrible 6. Go to 5. It's fine.
This is definitely not a format where you want to wait till turn 3 to do something.
No, games are won and lost on turn 2.
All right, so yeah, like I said, hopefully we get a chance to record a bonus episode this week where we can actually talk about what happened at the finals. So check out the channel later this week. Maybe we'll have something up. Now we are going to move on to Lawnlander 2024. Earlier this week, Chris made the announcement, which I want to just put out there right now, has been amended. There was a conflict with the original scheduled date, and it has been rescheduled now for March 23rd. Lawnlander Quarter 1 qualifier is March 23rd. Do my best to kind of broadcast that everywhere. Make sure that everybody knows. I don't want anybody showing up on the other date and not having anybody there to play with them. That'll make them sad.
Yeah.
So
Jay would show up.
What won't make everybody sad? What won't make everybody sad, hopefully, is the promos for Lawnlander 2024. God. So this is new. Well, it's kind of new.
It's been in the works.
I mean, we did it last year as well, but last year it was just boring tokens, and now, YouTube is seeing this for the first time. The Discord and the Patreons have already seen these, but these were spoiled in the Discord late last week. All of the players who made the top 8 of the Lawnlander last year got their face on a piece of the Power 9. So here those are, YouTube.
There is one missing.
A top 8.
Missing, yes.
Yeah.
Can't have Power 9.
It is a top 8, and Time Twister just not quite on the same power level.
Stay tuned.
Time Twister is not quite on the power level of the rest of these.
So, I mean, you could have had a Paradox Academy deck make it,
We did have a Paradox in the top 8.
I believe Joe did actually have a Time Twister in his deck.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah. So, here they are. These are the promos. But this isn't all of them. There are actually 23 promos that will be in packs of 6 promos. So you'll get 3 commons, 2 uncommons, and a rare or mythic rare. So that was the first 8 of them. Would you like to spoil right now here on the YouTubes? 5 more of those cards?
Yeah, I think so. Yes.
Okay, so I had asked each of you. This
Oh,
goes
God.
back to what we did last year, right?
Yeah.
We made the tokens, and I had Stefan and I's face on them. I put a
As
little
goblins
bit. I
and-
put a little bit more effort into these ones, though. These ones are super fun, and I had asked you each, last week sometime, what token you would like to be this year. And Jeremiah, you chose a 4/1 Menace skeleton from the.
I did. Nobody has that token,
From
and
the
so I knew it was
Undercity.
going to get
I
played.
know that I don't have one. So.
Yeah.
I
was
do
like,
have one of those, but I'm changing
people are
it up
going to
anyways.
people are going to play this because nobody ever has one. You know.
Stefan chose a food token.
I do be cooking. And I also love a good glizzy. So
They haven't actually seen it yet.
yeah.
I mean,
I chose a trample haste 2/2 human knight creature token that fourth Aerolingus makes. So
Little Ligma.
also, my poor dog got diagnosed with cancer last month, and I really wanted to put him on this card. And so here he is. Here are
Good
the
dog.
tokens. These are 3 more of the cards that will come. Actually, one of each of these is guaranteed in every single pack.
Oh, God.
So if you show up to Lawnlander, you will get at least one of each of these.
Can they see them now? Can they see them?
Yeah, they are on the screen
Okay.
now.
I showed my wife the token and she said, "Why are you making that face?" And I said, "This is just how I look when I'm looking at a hot dog, baby."
I mean, she knows that. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I'm staring down
Yeah.
the barrel of some nitrates.
Yeah. My wife immediately asked if she could have it on a shirt.
Yeah. The skeleton, the skeleton man.
And it turns out that it actually is on a shirt. So
Right.
we added a new loyalty program to the Patreon campaign, and you get 4 shirts, one every quarter for an entire year, and it is $15 a month. So there 3 of the shirts feature the art from each one of these tokens.
Mm-hmm.
And then the 4th shirt is called the Magic Lads shirt. You see it on the screen now. That is the Magic Lads shirt. That is the very first one that you'll get. So, like I said, it's a loyalty program. You get 4 shirts, one every quarter. 3 of them each feature the arts that are featured on those tokens, and then the 4th one is this shirt. So it has all of those pictures from the top 8, the Power 8. Proxies. So, I don't know if I said this before, but these are sleeve playable proxies.
Yeah, they are. We accept these in our format. They function as the cards.
And is this gold tier like loyalty or?
No, the loyalty program is a completely separate tier. So you get all of the benefits from the tiers below it. It is below gold though. It's $15 a month. Okay, so that's not all though. One more, actually two more small spoilers
there's
for
more.
you. Just little tiny spoilers. There will be these in those packs as well. These 2 have acrylic paintings that I did. I've been working on this since last summer. So these were 2 of the first ones that I finished. Actually, I think Badlands was the first one that I finished. Yeah, that is an acrylic on canvas painting, and yeah, really
Sick.
super fun. So once again, those are every entry into Lawnlander gets you a pack of promo cards. The promo pack contains all 3 tokens, and then 2 uncommons and 1 rare or mythic rare. And if you go follow me on Twitter, it's just at RUG_LY. I did tweet out pictures of all of the ones that have been spoiled so far. So if you want to go there and get a little bit better look at them, they are up there on my Twitter.
Heck yeah. We love to see it. Good rewards, more opportunities for people to just have the cards to play the format, especially stuff that's like tenuously unobtainable.
I think this is a really, really good tie-in for our philosophy and what we are really about, is nurturing this format for what it is, and the people that are here, and giving them as much opportunity to succeed as possible. And I think no limit proxies is really, really the way to do that.
It lets people win into the cards that they want.
Yeah, or just
which I think is the coolest part. Yeah, participate If you really want to own the real cards, win into them. We have players here that started with nothing, now have tons of stuff.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Hey, hold on. I got a visitor that I want to show everybody real quick. He's happy to be here.
It's Charlie.
Hi.
It's Charlie. It's dog.
Charlie strikes me as happy to be everywhere. You know.
Yeah. My dog's on the couch, not doing anything.
So yeah, in terms of winning stuff, it's always the coolest to see somebody win something that goes directly in their deck.
Yes, like with the tropical island for sure. Yeah.
Ryan with a Mox Ruby.
Yes. Oh, oh my God! Why didn't we talk about that? I completely forgot.
Yeah.
So we did the first ever OCN
high stakes
tournament.
Yeah.
And this is a single elimination best of 5. The event caps at 8 players. The prize is
That's it.
The prize for this one was a CE Mox Ruby. It was in excellent condition.
It was nice. It was nice.
It's a high buy-in, high stakes. You know, you win one and you're done, or you lose one and you're done. Winner take all home. So it was super duper fun to put on, and we had some really high level play out there. And it just further solidifies that I think best of 5 is like really good for Canlander. Last year, if you would have asked me what's something that I would like to be implemented, it would have been discussing sideboards. That would have been my answer to the question. And I think that in doing the finals as a best of 5, and then now watching this high stakes tournament as a best of 5, I think that that's much better for the format. You don't have to drastically change anything by being like, well, sideboards are never legal before, but they are now.
Yeah.
That being said, it takes forever to play 5 games.
Yeah, but it's also
the minimum round time is like an hour and a half.
It doesn't work well for Swiss, but for like high stakes like final stuff, it works perfectly. It's exactly what you want it to be. Like, especially if you have streamed, if you have viewership, people get to see some really cool, interesting matches. Yeah, and more Magic is just better for those scenarios. Longer games, no time limits. You're jamming what you need to jam, doing what you need to do, and really taking your time with your plays.
Yeah, it is an interesting format, and like after playing it, I will say that I don't think the average takes an hour and a half, but there's always one game every step of the way that does. You know what I mean?
That's the one that
like 3 of us would be done just waiting on the Paradox Academy matchup or whatever.
The control deck is
So one person is not going to get a lot of breaks. Everybody else is just chilling and having fun. So
we also
it was pretty fun though. It was a fun thing that was a little bit different than normal.
It's
the atmosphere was really cool. I think everybody was really relaxed for the most part, and
it was Sean and Ryan in the finals who are like historic finalists in our format.
Yeah, they're closers, man.
Sean and Ryan Ryan ran really hot. I mean, he was finding that Court of Garenberg early, like every game.
Really? Sick.
Yeah,
we were pretty low on that card.
I still am. It's great in the first 2 turns of the game, and after that, not that great.
Sure.
If your opponent is doing something powerful, you just don't catch back up with it. But if you have it right away, it's
drawing you cards. It's making your dudes bigger. Yeah, it's everything you want it to be.
When I was playing that blue-green deck, I had that in there, and I curved that into True Name Nemesis against Luke once.
Yeah.
It also makes players, it makes opponents make really
they have to make really
inappropriate choices on it because they want to take the monarch from you. But then it leaves the defenses down, and your creatures are bigger than theirs, and your life total is now in peril.
You just can't win.
No.
You have to make bad decisions. Like, none of your decisions are good.
It reminds me of Fourth Ligma, like, because it's like your opponent has no good scenario. That being said, like,
Fourth Ligma is just fireball.
Yeah, like Ligma though, like you don't necessarily want to jam it on turn 2, but you can, and it's gonna do a lot of work for you.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
I just think like Court on turn 5 does nothing. It functionally does nothing in the game.
Yeah.
I mean, other than it could get a creature back under
draw a card.
Yeah.
It might draw you one extra card, and then it's just like, I don't know. And I've had it in play early with a Walking Ballista, and it was nuts. But turn 5 or 6, you're just going, I'm probably giving away the Monarch, so I'm paying 3 mana to draw 1 card and give my opponent 1 right back.
The point is, like, you really need a board for it to do a lot of stuff, and a lot of times you have maybe 1 creature at that point because you're sinking all your mana in there. And if they can answer, like, if they wait for you to go to your upkeep, put counters on it, they're just going to path it or swords it, and then
Yeah, the same can be true about any threat. Like,
it's true.
Your opponent can always answer it.
But the difference is if you now have no threats to take back the monarchy, you have now given them all of the advantage that you at one point had from this card.
Just throwing in a Library of Alexandria at your opponent.
Yeah, and then there you go. They haywire might it and then attacking it. Yeah,
which season?
It's a dangerous card. It's situational. It's dangerous.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like on turn 2, there's not a lot of danger. It's all upside, and the amount of time you have for your creatures to grow makes them relevant.
Even then, I would say there's a certain amount of danger. Like if you're playing against Ryan on red deck wins, like he'll just kill your creature, swing in, and take the monarch.
Right,
and now
you get mega punished for your 3 mana investment.
So that's not the matchup that card is for.
No,
and I see that's why I think like we're pretty low on it in general, is because the metagame is already super hostile to the initiative, and the monarch is just the same thing. Like, if you recall back when Tanner won his finals match against Goblins against Sean, he specifically chose to not play the initiative creatures in his hand because he thought they were bad in the matchup.
It's true. Yeah, if your opponent has a more aggressive creature base than you,
they're going to be able to take it from you, keep taking it from you, and kill you faster. Like it's because of it. It's not
0 mana Lava Axe, very good.
Yeah.
But I will say I watched the finals between Ryan and Sean, and Ryan played really well. Picked some lines to disrupt Sean that I would not have taken, and it paid off for him. On recruiter turns. Ryan attacked Sean's mana, which he normally would not do to goblins. You know what I mean? Really went after his he blew up his Mox and used his Wasteland on a Castle Embereth, and really kind of cut his own mana and played his own cards out just to stop Sean from comboing off, because Sean's pile included like a War Chief for haste.
So
and because he didn't have the Torch Courier, it was in the graveyard already.
Interesting.
Yeah, so he made some pretty good plays where, from my perspective, I was watching, like, why would you attack Goblin's mana like that? But it slowed him down just enough.
Yeah, I think one of the best ways that you can make a combo deck stumble is by attacking their mana, and it sounds like Sean was on a more combo-y draw.
Yeah,
this particular game.
Yeah, he played to the recruiter draws a lot. He drew Gamble a lot, and then played to the recruiter line multiple times throughout the match.
So I could see, where if he's on a little bit more of an aggressive skew of a draw, where you wouldn't want to attack his mana, you would want to just widen your board.
Right.
But if he's on a combo draw, I think attacking his mana is a good choice.
Yeah, he doesn't do anything then.
I think Ryan played really well. He definitely earned his Mox.
And that's all skill. Like Ryan just is such a good player, and he's so skilled about how he deploys threats, how he responds to different board states.
And that's a pet deck of his too. He's been playing it for a long time.
Over a year now.
Yes. And he has continued to make incremental changes to it that suit his play style, and it's very cool.
So but he played really well. Sean did too. Just those recruiters piles didn't pan out for him, even though he went for him and got him over and over again. Ryan always found a way around it. But I think it's typical with those Nine decks. They have a lot of spot removal,
They do, yeah. You get to play some of the best removal spells.
Magic be that way. You get to play
white and red both have some of the best removal spells.
And free ones too. I mean, 0 mana Fury, 0 mana Solitude. You don't have to invest anything into it. Oftentimes you're drawing additional cards in a lot of ways. So
most of it is either 1 or 0 mana. So
and Ryan had a rough road, to the finals too. He played Josh Knust round 1, and they went to 5 games.
Yeah, Josh was playing a super interesting Kiki walk deck.
Which historically is a match that Ryan has lost against in the finals. Not necessarily that list.
Well, this deck was a lot different.
Yeah, I'm just saying like that like Kiki pod ish like package in the deck.
Yeah, it's a lot leaner now though because he has Seeker Walk in it. So he doesn't need I don't know exactly how much mana it is. It's a lot of mana. It's a lot of mana over 2 turns to kill the old way, and now it's just 6 mana on 1 turn.
That's wild.
And then he played Mitch, I think, in the semis, if I remember correctly.
Which
that's tough.
I have watched those 2 players playing that specific matchup several times before, and the first thing that I'll say is like it seems very play draw dependent. Like when the die roll, your percentage points go up a bunch. In general, I think Ryan's deck probably mulligans a lot better than Mitch's deck does.
So, Mitch can gas out.
Mitch has to be luckier. That being said, like with the exception of Swords and Path and Solitude, Ryan will have a really hard time killing a lot of Mitch's creatures once they get up to 4 power. So
Flame Slash.
I think it could go either way.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things I think about Ryan's deck is that he did revamp it a little bit to go a little bit wider. He was playing the new legendary creature, the Boros legendary creature that makes gnome tokens equal to the 1/1 counters on it when you attack. Yeah. So I think he built to go. It's like it's on him something.
Yeah.
But yeah, he rebuilt it a little bit to go wider, I think, instead of.
And gnomes are just constructs plus. They count enchantments and artifacts.
No, they count creatures and artifacts.
I think Anam just puts 1/1 gnomes into play.
Yeah.
Like literal 1/1s.
Yes, she does make 1/1s. The ones that Stefan's talking about.
Oh, the gnome soldiers. That's
from they count artifacts and creatures.
Oh yeah, that's you're right.
So yeah, I think he planned to go a little bit wider, play a little bit more into the 1/1 counter strategy than normal, which is why the court was kind of doing what it was doing. And,
sure.
Paid off for him, you know.
I like it.
I love to see it.
Yeah. So.
Alrighty, I think that about wraps it up for this episode of the podcast. Again, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that notification button. And we'll be back hopefully later this week with a recap of the Maple Cup Finals. Until then, we just want to remind you that
we're proud of you.
Bye.
Later.